another informative information blog, a vlog, video blog. So here's the thing. One day I was on my throne in the Arabath, which I had surrounded by a courtroom. Basically, my throne was courtroom. My throne in the Arabath, and hopefully it didn't change. But I have the right to change it. I could change the room magically. But my courtroom, I liked it being my throne was a courtroom of the Arabath. And one day, this guy, he was my guards were escorting him to my throne. And have you ever seen one of the forces of hell dress up like a clown? Surrounded, as soon as he got to my courtroom, he figured out my guards were dressed up in gold. My courtroom was gold, and the dude sitting there looking like a clown, and we sitting there looking like warriors and kings. The dude, I remember he was talking about. I think he said something. I don't know what I think he said something about. I can prove he works from futures past. I'm the commander of the armies of the Lord Jesus Christ. I've been on overtime before. Do you want me to throw you in that lava from that present moment into the future? I could prove I could work from futures past too. But anyway, so I had set it up. I had set up my courtroom, right? And basically, I had set it up so that, let's say, if an individual would try and teleport away, so someone really thought it was sweet. They thought they could do crimes or whatever they did. Basically, they thought they can get away from a courtroom. If they try and teleport away, there's a magic thing that makes them teleport right back. There's also nanobots. Let's say the little nanobots, they make a cage, and then they try to super strength up. The force of the nanobots goes into like that of turns up the gravity in accordance, so not to smush them, but in accordance to how strong they are. So it's like, but to ever see someone do crimes and then think they can just get away, even though if I'm merciful, I'm supposed to let others honor, even though I knew the answer to that question. But to see someone cry, to feel so hopeless after being caught, it did make me want to be merciful. I don't think a lot of my soldiers or a lot of my warriors may have liked that so much, potentially. You ever seen, it's like, I know that all the holy angel race and all the human race were my children. I know that. Specifically even now of the seventh heaven. And I underwent the name Adam. And so it was written, first man Adam became a living soul. The last Adam became a quickening spirit. I am the first and the last. Lord Jesus Christ, the Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. But I am the first and the last. Said Michael, the Archangel of the seven spirits of God, of Lord Jesus Christ. I also underwent mythological stories militantly, so that I may not have to guess. Look at this mythological individual over there. No, I wake up every day saying, you know what? I am God. I ain't got to guess. I'm not a guess. I know that under the authority of Lord Jesus Christ, of God, as one of his 7 archangels, of his Holy Trinity, I am God. Wisdom of Solomon 115, for righteousness is immortal. I ain't gotta guess. It's a nice thing. But it's just interesting. Another story. Let's see here. I guess have I talked about the enigma of the well, let me just say, I made eternal homes out of gold so that individuals won't come up to me and say, Michael, go do house maintenance on at least 30 trillion homes plus. You need to restrain this house maintenance. Nah, you know what? I made the houses of gold so they don't get rusty and dusty, so I don't got to do house maintenance to gigantic mansions throughout years or forever. I made vacuums. They can go to the store, get some vacuums. Hey, let's see here. What else I do? I made the home so big that they didn't even want to move. They don't need a realtor. I place homes in accordance. I place homes in accordance militantly, in accordance to who loves me from closest to leastest. But it doesn't mean that I don't love the individual that still believe in Lord Jesus Christ. It's just I place individuals militantly. Honestly, when it comes to individuals with super strength and storage and teleporting and abilities, who do you think you want closer to you? Someone that would that let's say if your neighbor just happened to see someone try to attack you, do you want the person that love you closer, that may try and get help, whether they can't do anything or may try and help, however how they try and help, whether it's to get help or intervene. I place things militantly. So, like, for example, let me give a story. For example, I was in my backyard. I was in the backyard one day, and this was on Earth, right here. This story. I was in the backyard one day, and a humanoid yellow canary flew down, looking like a star, like bright, and then came down, landed in the backyard, and one of the neighbors said, "Have fun with your friend." What the fuck? I threw a lightning bolt at that thing before. One time I teleported to hell just to poop from heaven. And the thing bothered me, and I threw a lightning bolt at it. And how is my neighbor gonna say, "Have fun with your friend"? You know what I'm saying? I militantly placed my neighbors in heaven. Anyway, so that neighbor situation was on Earth. So here's the thing. So, but the other neighbor, called Mr. Ed at the time, even though he may not, so-called moved, but he came out. He eventually came out, no matter what the thing was, no matter what the situation was. He eventually came out, and he had, and he shot it in the kneecap. That's the type of neighbor you want closer to you. Not the neighbor that come outside and just assume that a humanoid yellow canary is your friend. That's what I'm saying. Individuals, I know individuals may not feel comfortable not being able to move from their eternal homes of heaven, but I place things militantly in accordance to who love me from closest to leastest, as if it's that important. when it comes to individuals with abilities, you know what? I am an authority. Everyone gonna find out I am not just a messenger. As if the stories I'm saying is too real. For wisdom of Solomon 115, for righteousness is immortal. Another informative vlog, video blog, blog meaning, but a video blog, meaning vlog. Another informative vlog. So here we go. So a spirit, right, is what like let's say I told the door to come out at him. What reflected was reflected. What was however how I mentioned. I told Arcus to come out of him. What was in him, and what reflected is what reflected. When I told Lucifer to come out of him, what was in him, it was the darkness, the whole night. The night. Individuals gonna understand what a spirit is what reflect from them. I am not the angel of music. I am not the messenger of music. I am the angel of the Lord. Honestly, I am an authority. So, what happens when the individual that's appointed, that's restrained, that's appointed over chaos, creating order and structure within the hierarchy of galaxies and realms in the universe? What happens when lesser authorities don't treat me as an authority? And yet, I am the spirit of the Lord. For righteousness is immortal. I am a spirit. You know what came forth from the angel of the snow? We called it snow. Everybody's gonna understand underneath the authority of Lord Jesus Christ, the Lord of spirits, individuals got control over the aspect of their consciousness as if like I put the stars connected to individuals' pineal gland. I am a spirit. And guess what? I got another aspect of what came out of me a long time ago when my body was ripped apart under the earth and lava spewed out. I know Gabriel the angel of fire, but they can go ahead and call me the angel of lava because that lava fight for me forever. I say I am an authority. Everyone gonna believe I am an authority. What happens? What happens when the angel of the Lord starts to be mistreated by lesser authorities? What happens? Please tell me. What happens to the individual that's appointed over restraining, that's appointed over chaos to create order? What happens? Likened it to a military that has a rogue soldier, then there's only one hierarchy of lordship under the authority of Lord Jesus Christ. Only one hierarchy of authorities. No matter what they want to call themselves, pharaohs, kings, emperors, there's only one hierarchy of lordship. I even place mandatory classrooms in every authoritative place. It's mandatory. Every authority knows that I'm an authority. Of Proverbs 8, by me kings reign, and princes decree justice. By me princes rule, and nobles, even all the judges of the earth. And so therefore, what happens that I'm a part of a John 5:19 ordinance, of Proverbs 9:1, likened on the John 14:6 ordinance, of the last two holy verses of Proverbs 8, of Matthew 24:35, of wisdom of Solomon 1:15. For righteousness is mortal. And therefore, the matter of individuals' bodies start to change as authorities affect their subjects, as Lord Jesus Christ will accomplish on earth as it is in heaven. And guess what? When lesser authorities start telling their subjects that Michael the Archangel is not an authority, which is ridiculous, guess what happens? The lawless one starts to reign, because that's just what happens when the angel of the Lord doesn't reign. I'm appointed over chaos, said the restrainer, and creates order within a hierarchy of lordship. And guess what? When lesser authorities start beating and raping and pretending, when lesser authorities start beating me and raping me and killing me and pretending to their subjects as if I'm not an authority, guess what happens? That's called lawlessness. And then the spirit of the lawless one reigns, as if Lord Jesus Christ wills to come to on earth as it is in heaven. They under wisdom is the principal thing. Don't forget wisdom, and all that getting good understanding. They can understand that 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. is of common sense. Of wisdom of Solomon 115, for righteousness is immortal. What's right is right. Understand wisdom of Solomon 115. Wisdom of Solomon 115, for righteousness is immortal. That first Enoch chapter 62 and first Enoch chapter 63 is relief to my universe and the realms and the galaxies. Of wisdom of Solomon 115, for righteousness is immortal, said the sword. Of wisdom of Solomon 115, wisdom of Solomon 115, for righteousness is immortal. There is only one ordinance of Romans 13. I don't want any perverseness of Proverbs 8:13 of Romans 13. Understand your first Enoch chapter 62 and your first Enoch chapter 63. I said there is only one ordinance of Romans 13, of Matthew 24:35, of wisdom of Solomon 115. Wisdom of Solomon 115. For righteousness is immortal. Understand, Jesus Christ is the Lord, is a man of war, the Lord is his name, said the angel of the Lord. Understand, Mikael, that I am. Understand, Keon Leonard Archie Jackson, for righteousness is immortal. Understand, Lord Jesus Christ called me a spirit. The Lord Jesus Christ, the Prince of Peace, I am the Prince of Wisdom, said Lord Jesus Christ, the Prince of Understanding. Now the Lord is that spirit, and where the spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty. Understand something. Understand, you cannot have common sense without the sense. Wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom and all that getting good understanding. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and the knowledge of the Holy One is understanding. The fear of the Lord is to hate evil, pride, and arrogancy, and the evil way, and the forward mouth that I hate. For righteousness is immortal. Understand, wisdom is the principal thing. Don't forget wisdom and all that getting good understanding. For righteousness is immortal. Understand who the angel of the Lord is. That I am. Understand, Lord Jesus Christ, the Lord is a man of war, the Lord is his name, said the God of forces. As if I am the commander of the armies of the Lord Jesus Christ, said the God of forces. Understand what happened. That I'm about to connect this video to a video that makes sense with this video. You cannot have sense, you cannot have common sense without the sense. Wisdom of Solomon 115. For righteousness is immortal. Blessed those who are poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Now let me explain what a spirit is. That I already explained in the video. But here's the thing. I'm always going to try and have authority in a fighting way if I have no authority, or if I feel like I have no authority, even though I have authority. I shall have authority that I have, that shall not pass away from me by any enigmas, said the Spirit of the Lord, as if like I am the Spirit of the Lord of life. I'm not going to be poor in spirit. My days shall not fail, since Hebrews 1 is real anyway. This is Matthew 24:35. The Spirit of the Lord going to have authority that I am. The Spirit of the Lord that shall have authority that I have. You see how I'm talking? I need authority that I have. No, here's the thing. I shall have authority that shall not pass away from me by any enigmas. Wisdom of Solomon 115. For righteousness is immortal. Jesus Christ is the Lord, is a man of war, the Lord is his name, said the angel of the Lord of hosts. For righteousness is immortal.